Welcome many times. Okay, this is fine. Anyone having any doubt from the previous day's topic or questions? Okay, what is the responsibility? Okay, this is fine.
Danish, actually, in that one, I had a question.
Which one?
Fourth
This one?
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, say a user enters value 0 in the first instance, even then my code would print the result as 1.
Uh, okay, because here we are doing multiplication, right?
Yeah.
So that is why we have to give one. Cannot give zero like sum. So what you can do, this one, right? If n not equal to zero, else break. Okay. So here what you can do, end result. Okay. So let's have another guys. So here what Arvind is saying. So suppose if I run this, let's see, oh, well, so here the thing is, if I run this program, the very first number, if I give it as zero, right? So the result is showing as one. Okay. So when there is no number to multiply, then we should give an error message to this that there are no inputs. It should at least user should give at least one input. So here, how can we do this, guys? Anyone having any idea? So if because we are not giving any input, so we have to handle that situation here.
Oh, okay. So, probably another elif condition.
Where will we give where we are going to give that condition?
So, instead of else break,
Yeah.
in else, if we do else, if
Oh,
n
instead of elif.
equal to 0.
Okay, but no, that will be for all the scenarios, right? Here we have a unique scenario where the first number that the user is giving is zero itself. So what was the termination condition here? When will this terminate? If the user gives zero, then exit. Okay, first number itself will be. So in this scenario, the idea is coming to my mind. We can have some counter here. Okay, that will count the number of inputs the user gives. For example, if I am not, if suppose if this is not zero, if the first number that I'm giving is not zero, then what we will do, we'll increase the counter. Okay, and else break. Okay, now suppose even if the user gives zero the first input, it will not enter this if block. It will directly go to else. So while printing the result, what we will do here, we will mention here Let's check the condition here. Yes, if so inside this, we'll check if counter equals to 0, then print there is no input from the user. Okay. Else will print the normal result. If I run this now, enter a number. If I the very first number I give 0 here, so I can mention there is no input from the user. Okay. But if I run it a normal program, enter a number 4, enter a number 3, and then I give 0, then the result is 12. Okay, this way you can handle this.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So back to the assignment. Using while loop while I less than equal to 100 with range keyword for n in the range of find what is the difference between while and for loop. So if this question write a program 1 to 100 using for loop is a range keyword. In this function, you have done like this is correct. So suppose I want to do the same thing by only giving one parameter. How can we do this? I don't want to give this 3 parameters. What shall I give here? Or what changes shall I make?
Yeah, just the end value,
So what value shall I give here for printing 1 to 100?
101.
Okay. And will it work?
Yeah.
Because we have to print 1 to 100, no? Initially the value of n will be, if you don't give any value, the beginning value
Oh,
will be 0.
correct. Yeah.
So how can we modify this inside the loop?
So
So
probably have a variable
if
z.
we can give n plus 1,
Okay.
and here if we make this till 100, okay, because it will come to 99 and 99 plus 1 will give you 100. Okay, because if we give 101, then it will print till 101 because we are
Yeah.
doing a plus 1 here. Okay, so in this way we can do this. Hope everyone is getting what I told just now. Guys, any doubt, please let me know. Okay, while and follow. Right, first 100 numbers I plus equals to 1. This is for counter and this is for sum. Okay. Or this we can do it like this also. Yes. All odd numbers between 1 to 100. Yes. How many parameter range? All look to print using range function. Upper the below code. Invalid syntax. Uh, Invalid syntax. Oh, I forgot to. This is a typo in the question. It should be print in bracket. This is my miss. It should be in bracket. Okay. Then it will not give an invalid syntax. Yeah, I meant
Manish,
print. Yeah.
even in A, it will print invalid, right? Because starting value is 1 and range is 10, and we are doing -1.
This one you're saying? 1
Yeah.
to 2. Yeah, it will not give any output.
Okay.
No output. Okay. This one will give you some output. Yeah, like this. And this one also will not give any output. Nice, no output. So declare new variable called result. Is result true if n modules false? Correct. Fine. So we are good with yesterday's assignment and coming back to the topic that we started yesterday. It was, I think, we ended with list. Okay, so we have seen how to find how to access. We can access individual elements using index. Also, we have seen how we can iterate over a list. This is iterating over a list using for loop and in operator. Okay, so this in operator, this is also called your membership operator. Okay, membership operator. For example, here we are doing for element in list, print element. This is fine. Now suppose in this list, I want to check whether a value is present or not. For example, I want to check this 99 is present or not. Okay. So let me print this 99 in LST. Here we'll just mention membership checking. We want to check whether a particular element is present in the list or not. For that also you can use this in operator in. Okay, let me see when run this. So membership checking false. So it will return a boolean value that this 99 is not present. So if I give here a 1 is present in the list, so it will return me a true. Membership checking true. Okay, so this was checking membership. We saw for loop. So this is one way of using for loop for list. There is another way which we will see if you have okay, and if you want to find out before doing that, let's see this. So we can access individual element. We have seen iterating. We have seen how to find the number of elements in the list. Okay, let's park this aside for the time being. Find the length of the list. Length, or we call it the number of elements in the list. We have this function called len, len, and the name of the list. Length of the list is yes. How many elements are there? It is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this list, this is a nested list. This will be considered as one element. Okay, one whole element. So there are 7 elements. So it is showing me the length of the list is 7. So we know now. Once we know the length of the list, then we can. So this is another way of accessing the elements of the list by uh index. We can access. Okay, for index in
Danish, one question.
yes, range of, yes, Arvind.
So,
Is it
so
Arvind?
yeah, so you did this membership checking.
Yes.
So right now 54 and 67 is a list, like a nested list.
Yeah.
And if we check for 54 in the list, why is it not giving it as true?
Where are we checking? Have we given 54? Okay.
Yeah, if you
Let's
give it
check.
as 54.
Let's check. Let's check that out. 54 in the list. No, 54 is not in the list. So instead of 54, if we give here 54 comma 67, okay, it will take this as one element. This entire thing as one element. Okay.
Okay,
So it won't, if I individual element, it will show as false only. But if you take this as a list, then it will show as true.
okay.
And so coming back to here, so in this guys, we are using a range function, and inside the range, we are giving the stopping value. So stopping value is nothing like is the length of the list. So because see the length of the list is showing as 7, okay, but the index will be from 0 to 6, okay, and for range also starting index if we don't go give it will start from 0, and the length is 7, so it will go till 6. Okay, so we can do like this, and we can print with the help of index. And this is this is one way, and yesterday we saw this way for element in LST print. Okay, so let me save this and run it. So let me give a separator in between. So when you have a string value, for example, I'm giving a star here, there is star, and I am multiplying that by 50. Okay, so star, this string star will be printed 50 times. So this way we can segregate the two loops. Okay. So this is the first loop where we are printing the elements using index, and this is directly we are iterating over it as the normal elements.
So you have the print statement outside. Oh, okay.
This one I am just doing to like segregate the two loops. Okay.
Okay.
Multiplied by 50 means the star will be printed 50 times.
So this is something with print and string manipulation,
Huh.
something like that. Okay.
Like basically it will create a string. It will create this entire thing will be a string. Okay. Even
Okay.
if you can store it in a variable also if you want. and then print that variable. That would also work. For example, if I just give it another name as diff star into 50 and I print this diff. So this is just a create a string variable with this value. You can give anything, a star, any string value, dollar, hash, anything.
Okay, but it is a string, and we are trying to
Ah,
do
it
an
is a
arithmetic
string. We
operation
are
on it.
getting a string, yes. So
Okay,
string into, yeah, normally if you do an addition between an integer and a string, we get some error. But this multiplication is allowed. It will just replicate this particular string that many times.
okay.
Okay, so coming back here, so we just saw two ways of printing elements in a list. One was this, and one is this. Okay. Now there are a lot of methods in this list object. Okay. So whenever you want to see, so basically we saw int is int data type, that is also an object. So we will study we will go study about objects in classes in the upcoming classes. But what I want to show here is like these are objects and there are some methods that we can use with them. Okay, so to find a complete uh, to get all the attributes present for an present for an object, we use dir and the variable name, variable name. So here if we give dir and the list lst, and if you run this, so you see these are the attributes that are present in list. Okay, so the attributes that starts with a double underscore or underscore, we are not using this till the subhook. What happened?
Sorry, can you go back on how you did it?
Yeah, sure, I will show you that. Did not understand for loop with index. Harshda has not understood with for loop with index. Yeah, sure, I will explain it again. So Arvind, just a moment. Let me explain that index one again. So, so we saw here, Harshda, how we are, uh, okay, yeah, how we can access individual elements using index. Okay. Yesterday we made one Excel. Where is that Excel gone? Yeah, we saw right that how can we access the individual elements. If we give list of 0, it will print 1, list of 2, it will give us 3. Okay, so what we are doing here, uh, here this length of the list is 7. Okay, so we are uh, so the stopping value is 7, starting value is 0, so it will go from 0 to comma 7, so that is 6. Okay, and inside this we are giving the name of the list, that is lst, and the index. So what is the value of index? First value will be, we have not given a starting value, it will be 0, so list of 0, it will print the first element. List of, again it will iterate, list of 1, it will give us the second element. So in this way we are doing it.
So basically, this is when we have many elements in a list, we don't have to like manually count, and we can use this range. and length of to determine how many times you want to iterate through it.
Yeah, correct. So basically, when we have a list, and if we want to execute something there, then this is going to, for example, here, if we see this, I'm giving this list here, and I am using this one. This, okay, and this. Let me give this as a debug point here and save this. So if I debug this, and let me expand this. So you see this 0, we have 1, 1, we have 2. So this is basically uh, all the elements. 0, this is 0th element, first element, second element. So third element is a sublist. So it is giving me an arrow here inside the sublist. This is the element. Okay. So in this way it is storing, and we are accessing it using this index. List of 0, list of 1, list of 2, list of 6. So this, index is 0. If I step over this, now see the index is 1, index is 2, index is 3, index is 4, index is 5, and index is 6, and that is the last index. Program ends here, and we are getting this output. Okay, I hope this is clear, Harshda. Speaker is not working. Okay, fine. So coming back here, so there are some methods that we can use with the list. Okay, so how can we get a complete list of all the methods that are available for list? So we are making use of this keyword dir, and the name of that variable which we are creating. Here we are creating a list object or a list variable. We'll do a dir of this list variable, dir, and the variable name. Okay. So once we run this, we are getting this output. So here, these methods, we generally don't use these methods, which starts with double underscore and all. These methods are important for us. Append, clear, copy, count. Let me copy these methods, which are without any underscores. Okay. So we have append, we have clear, we have copy, count, extend, index, insert, pop, remove, reverse, sort. Okay. So we'll go through these methods. What is the use of these methods? Okay.
Uh,
And
Danish, one thing
yeah.
you said, we'll be using the ones from append to sort, but
Hmm.
typically I've seen in some codes it like to start they do that and stuff. I wasn't so sure about it, but whenever they want to start it or something, I've seen in it on the code.
Init. Okay. That is a different thing, Arvind, that we will see when we are covering functions. They will see like I know I understood what you meant. I will just show you that as well. New file. Let's have a list here. LST equals to. Uh, but yeah, that I will show you because that they will do what? Huh? They will define a function here like this. For example, any function display, and they will suppose I'm doing some operation in this function, print hello. And for running this, what they do, they will give something here if underscore underscore. Oh, you're talking about init. Sorry, not talking about this. So init is like it is a it's a constructor. Okay, in it, it's that is a constructor that we'll study when we'll study about classes and objects, Arvind, not now.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that is a constructor. I thought you were talking about name and main. Fine.
Oh, no, no.
So here also we can access individual elements. Also, what we can do now, if I want to overwrite some value, for example, I want to overwrite 0, 1, 2, third, this third index, I want to give some other value. I want to remove that value. So I can give here only 4. Okay. So after this, when we run this, you won't see this in the output. Okay. If I change this, then our for loop should not print 5467. Instead of that, it will print 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. This. Okay. So if I run this, now if you see it, overrided that value. Now we are getting 4 instead of 5467. Okay. So with the help of this index, we can access individual values. And also, if you want to overwrite some value, we can just refer to that element and give some value that will override that existing value.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the reason, one of the reasons that why that list is mutable. List is mutable. What do you mean by mutable? Uh, after creating it, after creating the list, you are able to modify the list. Okay, after then you are able to modify the list. So that is why this list is called mutable. Okay, so now let's see that the methods that we saw that we will use. 23, 65, 43, 76, 55. We have this list. I am printing the list. This is day 4, right? I am sitting in day 3. So if you run this, you're getting this list. Okay. Now let's see some of the methods. So we have a method clear. Okay. So list is very important data type. We use it very often, so we have to be very familiar with the list after clearing.
So list is also a data type, is it?
Yes, it's also data type.
Okay. Because
Uh,
sometimes they say common data structures in Python and they say list, tuple, dictionary and all.
Correct. They call it. Few people call it like advanced data type. Few people call it data structure as well. So um, you can call it in that way also. You can call it data structure. But data type is a more form like I prefer calling it data type.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I've like in school and all I've done C, C++
Hmm.
and data
Hmm.
structures typically the stacked, nested, I don't remember, push, pop and all
Stack
those.
queue, stack queue. Those things they will. They
Yeah,
call data structures. Correct.
yeah, but here, yeah, in a couple of interviews and all, I've seen people referring this one as data structures. So that's why I was like a little bit confused. Why are they calling these as data
Yeah,
structures?
so yeah, that is how it is. Like few people call it data structure, few people call it data type.
Okay.
But it's like your choice. There is no such a hardcore thing here that you have to say this is the correct answer or that is the correct answer.
Okay. And concepts like those stack queue and all those are not in Python, or are they?
Stack and queues. So stack is basically those are they might have in advance I think data types like we have to import something and all. But see, stack, the major purpose of stack is follows a LIFO structure,
Mhm.
like last in, first out. So many people they will implement this stack with the help of list. Stack implementation with the help of. So stack is basically a concept which follows LIFO, last in, first out. Okay. They will many people we can implement the functionality of stack with the help of list. I will just show you how. Uh, just give me a moment here. After appending, I want to append one value. Let's dot append 12 0 0 12 0 0. Okay. So what after appending? No, first we have to append my. After this is fine. I'm appending. So clear will remove all the elements from the list. Okay, it will make it an empty list, and then we are adding one value. Okay, after appending, sorry, after appending first element, and let's append another element. Appending is like inserting elements in the list. Okay, 100 after appending second element. So after clearing, we are doing a list dot clear. Let me do it outside. Okay, and if we run this, so after we have used this list dot clear, and then we are printing the list, so it is giving an empty list. Okay, so we are clear with the function of clear. It is going to remove all the elements. Okay, and then we are appending, inserting elements in the list. So initially we inserted 12, then we inserted 100. Okay, so if you see when we are inserting, where are the elements getting inserted? Are they getting inserted randomly anywhere? Or they maintaining some order while inserting? So I'm inserting a third element. Can you can you tell me what is the order that is being followed while inserting the elements?
It checks for the last element on the right.
It is the last element. It is inserting at the last. Okay. And now let's start removing the element. Okay. Uh, we have this method here called pop. Okay. So if we use pop and after popping, so popping is like removing element. So which element it is removing here? The
Right.
last element.
Okay.
Okay. Now suppose now if you want to, mm, now suppose if you want to implement a stack, okay, uh, basically, uh, stack is last in first out, right? So is this behaving the same way? The element that is inserted at the last is being removed first if we do a pop. First we inserted 1200, then we inserted 100, then we inserted 350. But when we're using pop, is the first element getting removed or the last element getting removed?
The last one.
The last one. So basically, this functionality of stack can be implemented with the help of this list. Okay. Suppose you in real life, uh, like people are applying for no, that is will be for Q, or who can so basically, if you see in textbook, they will give the example of stack of plates, or in a hotel stack of glasses or plates. So what will happen there? Suppose first one came, I did one append. Okay, this is the let's create an empty list first here. Okay, it's an empty list and being append first glass. This is the first I'm appending this. So similar to this, we have 10 glasses. First, we'll give a short form. Second glass, third glass, fourth glass, fifth glass, seventh glass, eighth glass, ninth glass, and 10th glass. Okay. And if you print the list, now we have a stack of glasses. They are on top of each other. Okay. Now, first glass, second glass, third glass. Now, the person starts cleaning the dishes. So he wants to do a pop. So until which point he will do a pop, while list while length of the list. So after popping, what should be the last? If I do a length on an empty list, so what will be the value of length, guys?
Sorry, can you repeat it again? What was the question?
I want to now. I want to. I don't want to. I have appended like this, but if the person has started cleaning the dishes. Okay, cleaning the glasses. So these are all piled on one on top of one another. This is the first
Mhm.
one, second one, third one. Now it's time for cleaning up the mess. So he's trying to clean it, and he is telling, I don't know how many glasses are there. Okay, I want to clean it using a for loop. I will run a for loop, and I will just clean it with a single pop element inside. I will just do this list dot pop. So for doing this, what should be the condition here in this while loop? With a single pop, I want to remove all the glasses. Like last one first, then this one, then this one, then this one.
With a single pop, in the sense you want to clear out everything, or you're saying just with one pop statement in a
Just with
while
one
loop you
pop
want to
statement.
okay.
What shall be the condition here?
So with list we saw we'll probably use length of list earlier
Length of
to
list.
iterate.
Hmm.
So here length of list, when it is greater than or equal to 0.
Greater than or equal to 0.
So when it becomes 0 also it gets
So we have to give equals to 0.
okay.
Because when the list is empty, the length will return 0, right?
Oh yeah, correct.
So if we do this and run it, it is not printing. Will it not return it? So the return type of pop is nothing. Okay. Um,
So is it just removing it
no,
and
actually, so the condition is, while this condition is still false, right, in the beginning,
oh yeah, yeah.
it should be not equal to, right?
Mhm.
It will go on, this loop will go on until the length of list is not 0. When it is 0, it will come out of this loop. Okay.
Okay,
So let's do this now. You see this insertion order is this, and the removal order is just the reverse. Remove this. Okay.
okay,
So in a scenario where you have to implement a stack kind of thing in your program, then you can use this one, this list append and pop. By default, this will do your work. Okay.
okay.
So this was using while loop. What about I want to do the same thing with the help of for loop? How can we do it? Or
For same thing for n in range length of list, something like that.
we do this. But for loop, no, you there is no because see, we are not using this value of n anywhere in this, right? We are just doing a list dot pop. So the value
Hmm.
of n can be so how many times we have to do the pop? Yeah, that we have to see. So if we give here the length of the list, okay, and here we will just do list dot same thing. We'll just copy this from here. Okay. Uh, yes, this should work fine. Uh, okay, so we are clear with append. We are clear with pop. How many methods we have seen so far? Clear, append, pop. Okay.
Oh, so basically in the while and for inside the loop, whatever we are going to remove,
Hmm.
we are storing it.
So this list dot pop now what it does, it will it returns the element that it is removing from the list. So that is what we are storing in this element.
Okay, but in general case, when we don't store it in an element, it will just remove it.
It's like it's not mandatory that you have to save this. You can just remove that element. But here I want to see which element is getting removed first. So that is why I stored that element in that variable.
Okay, yeah, yeah, makes sense.
Okay, so we have done this. What are the methods we have? Append, clear, copy. Copy will just create a copy of the list. For example, this is one cop. This is a list, and I want to create a copy of this. So we'll use this list dot copy. Let's copy and let's print the original list also. Okay, so this is the original list, first class SG, and this is the copied list. Okay, so we can copy a list by using this copy function. What we have here. Okay, append, clear, copy. What else we have? We count, extend, index, insert, pop, remove, reverse sort of. Let's see what this count will do. So, count, right? Where is our program? Yeah.
So
So
list of
suppose, yeah,
copy, is it similar to assigning the list to another variable?
copy is, let's see. Um, this is the copied list, okay? And I am changing one element from the original list now. So I am changing list of 0. I'm making it 999. This value I'm giving to this original list. I'm changing it, okay? And let's print both of them. Print after modifying original list. List, a copied list is, let's see whether if we change after using a copy, if we are changing the original list, is it having any impact on this or not? So let's run this. No, our original list is like that only. And so coming back to your question, you were saying that you were just telling that copy and equals to, right? So if we have a list like this, 1 comma 2 comma 4, and let's take a list 1 equals to list, and do list 1. So this one is getting copied, and if we make any changes to original list, So you saw the difference here, Arvind. So in when we are using list.copy, and if we make any changes to the original list as we saw, so here only you can see I am creating another list here. List 2 equals to lst dot copy. Let's do it in the before changing it. Okay. So one list we are creating by copying the first list. Second list we are just doing an assignment of it. Okay. So this is uh, where we are doing using and we are using copy method. So when we are copying it, it is a totally independent entity. It is not dependent on the original list. So that is why even we are changing the value in the original list, it is not having any impact yet. Okay. But when we are assigning like this, so both now are pointing to the same list, list one and list. Okay. Both are pointing to the original content. So any changes made in this will be reflecting here also.
But the change is actually done after the initialization, right? After assigning list to list one, only after
Correct.
that we are making. Okay, okay, makes sense. Whatever change you make, it is still equal to list, so it gets changed. Okay.
Okay, so using assignment operator, any changes in original list will be reflecting in the new list. Using copy method, any changes in the original list will not be reflecting in the new list. Okay, so if we run this, this is changed and this is not changed. So is this clear, Arvind? Copy and equals to which you just asked.
Yeah, it's clear. Thanks.
Okay, so now we are seeing this count one count. So for count, I want to count how many ones are there in this list. Let's make it more. One, two, again a one. Okay. So number of ones in the list equals to list dot count of. See if I run this. So number of ones in the list equals to 2. Is that the case? How many ones are there? 1, 2, 3, but we are changing it to 99. So that is why our count is 2. If you would have not changed this, then our count would be something else. It will be 3. Okay, Arvind?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, so this count is clear. Counting the number of ones and extend index insert pop insert. Okay.
And count
Yes.
an integer, even a string or anything. We
Anything. What any value in the list. Okay. Insert. So right now for adding a new element, we have seen append. Okay. So with the help of insert also, we can add element in the list. So insert what it will do. Here, suppose I want to insert a element. So normally append will append at the end of the list. But with the help of insert, you can insert it anywhere in the list. Suppose I want to insert at the very first place. I want to 0th index. I want to insert my name. Okay. And I will just print this list. So you see the first it appended my name here. Okay. So insert gives you the flexibility that you can add your any element at any position by giving the index value. Okay. So this is the difference between insert and append. Now, what else? Pop we have
uh,
seen.
Tanish, one
Yes,
moment. The difference between insert and append is append all
append is
so
appending at the end of the list, right? As we
that you
saw. But insert gives you the flexibility to
yeah,
add
yeah,
you the element at any position in the list by giving the index value. Okay.
yeah,
So
okay.
similar to pop, we have something called remove. So what remove will do? It will remove the element if present. It will let me remove my name which I inserted and then print this list again. You see in the new list my name is not present. What if I give some value that is not present in the list? This value is not present in the list. Now if I run this, we are getting an exception that this element is not in the list. Okay, so when we try to remove an element, it will remove the element if present, and it will throw an exception if the element is not present in the list. Okay, so element equals to my name. So, but before, so whenever we are using remove, we should be sure that um, this element is present in the list. Okay, before using this remove element. So how can you be sure that this element is present in the list? How to ensure that?
Maybe an if condition to check it.
If condition, what will be the condition here?
If element in list,
Then only we have to run this. Element in less than this, else parent element is not present in the list. Okay, so this will do, this was remove. What are the methods? Pop, remove, insert, reverse, and sort. We'll see, and then we'll see at the end about this extend. Rest all will cover. Yes, index, extend, reverse, and sort. So reverse is very simple. So here we are printing the list, and again here we will print the reverse list as the name suggests. Reverse list is none. So what reverse list will do after reversing? So this is, we are reversing it. What we have to do, we have to print the list again, because this is not returning any value. That is why we are getting a none here. Okay. It is not returning any new list. It is just reversing this original list only. So we have to print the original list only after reversing. Okay, it was in this sequence, and now it remove after reversing. This is the opposite sequence. Okay, so reverse will just reverse your list. What else do we have? Sort. So if we do a list dot sort, we'll get an error because we are having a mixed data type. Okay. So we are getting an exception. Less than is not supported between instances of string and integer. This is because we have a string inside this. All should be of the same data type. Okay. So if I remove the first and no, after reversing, my name is at the end. Okay. So if I remove the end element, last element by giving my, because I don't know what is the size of the list. I'm just using -1 to, but I know it is present at the last element we have to change. Okay. So I'm making it to as minus 20, 30. And then we are shorting this. Okay, now this list is shorted. Is this clear, Arvind? Arvind, Harshada, is this clear?
so actually there is one question here. So
Yeah.
you're sorting it of one data type, which is integer.
Yeah.
What if it has string? How is it going to sort that?
What if?
The elements in the list are a string.
So it won't be able to do it. For example, that's why I see I have changed the last element before doing this short, because it was a string inside. Okay. But if you have if all the elements are like string, then it will be shorting it. For example, list of names, Sam, Peter, Arvind, Ganesh, Harry. Okay. Now if I want to short it, this is before shorting. And this is after shorting. Okay. Let me run this. So you see this Arvind Harshda. So this we are sorting the string, right? A comes first, just in alphabetic order.
Okay.
Okay, now we have seen this. What are the two more methods? We have index is one method. Index will just give you the index of the value. For example, so I made this last element in this list is minus 34. Okay, I want to find out the index of this. So if I do lst dot index of minus sorry, minus 34, and I store the result in some variable called result, and I print this result. And I want to print the list also. So minus 34 is at index 0, so it is printing 0 here. Okay. If I give a value of 1, so 1 is present at both first and the second index, but it is taking the first one. It is showing the first one that it is encountering. Okay, and so this was index. It will return the index of the. What if you give some element that is not at all present? Index of this value. So it will give you an exception. Value error is not in the list. Okay. So this was index. What else we have? Extend. Now suppose we have this list and we have list of names. I want to concatenate the two list. So list dot extend the other list of names, and I want to print the list. This is after using extend method on lst. Okay, but before that, it is throwing an exception. That is why it is not able to reach this line here. Okay. So to handle this exception, we can put this into, let's not go into exception handling now. Let's remove this. It's fine. Okay, now you see we have a combined list. This is the original list and this is the list of names. It has combined into one single list.
So basically, this is also similar to append, but probably it takes the entire list and adds it to the original list.
Correct. Append will take individual elements, but this extend is will take a list. Okay, and it will insert it as individual elements. So append also, if you, for example, if I put an append here, so now our list is modified, and I'm doing append. Append will take individual elements. Okay, so this can also be an individual element. This list, because list also it will, because we are giving only one list, right? One. So this will also be an individual element. But the difference, what you will see here, let's show you that. So this was using extend, we gave a list name, and this is append, we are inserting a single element. Okay, that is why it is being stored as a nested list, where this it is considering as a single element. But in the case of extend, what was happening? It was like taking the individual it was like iterating over this list and adding them as individual elements in the list, not as a sub list.
Okay, got it. So in case of if we are using append and if we have to like add the whole list, then we need to probably have a loop to iterate and then add all the elements to the original list.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. So this was uh, we have covered the important methods in the list, but there are other things also in the list that we will cover in the upcoming classes. We have something called list comprehension. We have something called list slicing. So those things we will be seeing in the next class. So what we have covered today, we started with list only, I think. We saw how to access individual. Yeah, we saw on my notepad. Yes. So we saw accessing individual elements in the. We saw for loop, how we can iterate using for loop, right? For loop on list, and we saw these methods. Okay, but I'm very much concerned with the number of participants that are attending the class, because if Aravind is absent, then I have to go. And Harshita, there's some problem with the system. Only if you two are not present, then my class will be empty. I will be speaking to no one. So, what can we do here? Okay, do you guys have any questions on the topic, guys? You are clear with what have been covered so far, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, so weekdays class is like this. Now, if you miss one class in between, then the flow gets broken. So